Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Diamonds of the ACOTAR series. We are on ACOMAF. Hopefully we finish this book today, or at least in this video. Sorry, hopefully we finish this book in this video. It's the same day as when I recorded the other video. But I hope to finish this one. I had some Gatorade. Let's talk. This is not a recap, this is a dive. We are in Summel, chapter 34. Immediately I'm giving Faye 2 life points. She says she's a weapon, and she is in fact not a weapon. She is in fact not a weapon, so I gave her 2 life points, because she said twice. She also lies and said that she had nothing to do when she's laying in bed, because she's jelly. And then, of course, on page 329, she gets a mean point because she said that she'll send him a waddle dog barking at him after. And let it bite him. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm over Favorite at this point. Like, this is at the point where I was over Summel. And I just want this book to be over. This is actually probably a week ago at this point in time of filming. Maybe less. I'm unsure. So, I just was basically done with her. And so some of these mean points or lies, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's a lie. No more grace. But keep in mind, I'm not giving her a point every time she says it, hi Faye. Okay? I won't do that. Like I said, there'll be too many. There'll be too many tabs wasted on that, in my humble opinion. But let's move on. 330. She has a mean point. She goes into Tyquin's mind. So I didn't have a note why I said mean. She basically goes inside Tyquin's mind and forces him to do what she wants. And then forgets it. That's a mean point, but I don't want a mean point. And that took me a moment. Yeah, that did, because I had to remember what was happening in the scene. And now we're gonna have a double combo of lying and, mean, because her self-concept is again trash. So she calls herself a lying two-faced wrench. But I also think that's mean. You know? So she has a lying point and a mean point now on page 331. On page 334, mean point after she calls herself a liar when I think it's a liar point, and then she's also scoping out the place to steal. On page 345, another mean point. You probably could have guessed it. She's like, I just hope she'll find it fast enough not to hate herself any more than she already did. She's literally talking about hating herself. Mean point on herself. She's mean to herself. And then another mean point, same page, 345. Basically, at this point, Reese and Faye are flirting with each other and both feeling jealous. And she's like, did she tell you that before you doing or after you took her to bed? You're being mean. Why are you at? You're being jealous. You're being mean. That's none of your business. Why are you crying? And you have to keep in mind, mean at this point is very subjective because it's so many things wrapped up into one. And it's like, it's none of your business. You're being rude. Not mean, rude. There we are, but it's still going to count as the mean point. And page 337, this is where I promised us to do. We went to talk about the characterization of the inner circle. This is what we get from the inner circle. And you gotta remember, at this point, Amryn is described as being horrible, vain, manipulative. So that, you know, what we have seen is cold, distant, aloof, likes to drink blood. So she's gonna get 3 mean points. Now I'm not gonna say some of these because some of them are just, in my opinion, too close to real souls or real life ways of describing people that are racist, and so I'm not gonna say them. But she is thinking them. And if there should be no but, you're not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. That but is saying, but she did. And she had the confidence to say this. She had the confidence. I understand that Amryn did say it, but I'm like, that does not mean Amryn was right to say it. But, the Royals, and basically the things that people don't like about Amryn, and the things that they don't like about these group of Royals, she's saying them. She's saying them. And also, I might be like, well, she's saying facts. Okay, you don't call someone the offensive thing, because that's how we call it. No. You could just call them their species, their class. You don't have to add the horrible insult that has always been an insult and is an actual insult. Insult, a derogatory thing in real life. Like, so she's not going to not get a mean point for that. And yet, keep in mind, mean is just anything in that category. So when I said that it can literally go from like minor things to being like, what? Yeah. That a dreamer born in the court of nightmares. I think that is proof again that that Reese is not indeed the High King. He's the coup. He's the cool. He is the one that did the coup. Can a queen cool a king? I don't know, but a count can cool a king. Can a king cool a king? Can the king cool the king? No, but can the queen cool the king? Quarter candy, quarter candy. Then you have a monster trapped in a beautiful body for Amryn. That's mean. I'm sorry. Rose Moore also. A person who knew there was a price and worth paying for that. I'm gonna be so honest. She tries to justify. That's it. I'm like 90% sure it's a part time. She tries to justify it. Being like, oh, well, the Laos is the good city. It's the good city, and that's where all the artists, and that's where all this is. And then you have the bad city. Well, the political adversaries are. And it's okay that you abandon them, and they have literally nothing, and they don't know why you're being mistreated because no one knows what this city. This is not a review or a recap. We're moving on. I say that so I don't go into a rant. Page 340. A lie. When she said she wished she didn't realize it, but she had a plan. I think that's a lie. I don't think once she realized it, I think that she made it in that moment. And I honestly don't think that she wished she didn't have that plan. Oh my gosh, okay, let's do this. 342. We have a lie. In which she tells Mike when she's had enough mud. And that's when she's going to go somewhere. And it's like, well, you know actively that you're, like, that to me is a lie because she actively knows that she's going to go in the mud, basically. Or she's going to go and do something. She throws magic at him. Goes into his mind. She says she's harmless. 2 points there. She has another mean point. Because she's calling herself a liar on a thief in the sea when she didn't really need herself. So another liar point. And she actually does lie. And basically saying, maybe this new world of Tarquins could only be built on trust, but he wouldn't get a chance to build it if they were all wiped away beneath the King of Highborn's army. That's actually not how allyship works, and that's actually not how anything works. You're actively backstabbing him when trust is given to you. You are actively the problem. She lies, page 349, 4 times, where she says she is Tarquin in the summer, in the warmth, in the sea. Trying to get through the woods. Those are lies. She also says that she is a master, and it will let her pass. It will let her pass, yes, that's not a lie, but she's not his master. She is a pet. What are you talking about? Shivering, and she's like, I wondered if I might already have been dead in my human body. You're not in a human body, you're in a fey body. She says she is a symbol, she is a symbol, 3 more lies. Dang. So on page 351, she has 4 more lies added, which is nothing compared to 352. She says that she's a symbol, she's a sea, and then she says she's Tarquin, she's a High Lord, she's an asshole. So 5 lie points right away. At this point, I ran out of the lie tabs, but then the book calls her a liar. And then they leave. But as she's doing it on page 335, she does lie 2 more times, and she said that she was dead, and she knew she was dead, she was alive. This is before she was rescued by the Wakes. 358, she is mean. And Reese had to be like, these ladies. And she's being mean with the Wakes, definitely. Shameful, interesting. She was called a liar by the book. And then we learned that what is the unmade and made and unmade. This is the cycle that calls like. Interesting, that's just magic though. She is called a coal sprite, and then we learned that this book is a metal plate with 3 rings around it, and it's written in the Holy Tongue. So we have that. On page 366, she's mean, yet again. And basically like maybe you should have requested it after all, so you both could be silently together. No comment. And then she's lying that she might, send Tarquin things, and I'm like, okay, so we gotta keep in mind that this person is actively using another person to make someone else jealous. We have a lie and a mean point, again on page 379 now. Well, I mean mean because she's comparing High Lords, of why the court had become what it was, but Reese had a vision, a desire, and he wants basically to help, and she's like, I think that's a lie. Interesting. 383, we have another mean point. Are you shocked? And she's like, as if these royals would stand a chance against them. And she's like, why are you putting down other people? Just, yes, they are powerful, but why do you have such a huge confidence in someone? Like, just because they're grabbing weapons. That doesn't make sense for you to be so mean about. 389, we have another mean point. Are we shocked? She wants to hit Amryn. That's what she wants to do. She wants to actively hit Amryn. And she holds herself back. But I'm like, why are we violent all of a sudden? Page 404, she says, a place as terrible, but with such terrible beauty. It was an effort to keep the wonder and dread off her face. This is Hem City. At this point, they'll end this Court of Night Nails, and I would like not to talk about the Court of Night Nails, but of course, here we are. She wants people to be afraid of her, and I'm gonna go mean because she's happy that people are afraid of her. This is actually what Cameron was scared of in book 1, in part 1, and why he didn't want her to leave is because he thought this was happening. But it's okay, guys, because it was her choice. It was her choice to basically do On the Mountain part 2. She's dressed in a very revealing thing, and she is, again, his pet. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna be honest, I gave her a mean point and a lie point on page 409 when she's saying, she's calling herself a mean name. The image that she wants to portray to them, the dangerous new pet that Moore's family, Moore's father would now seek out. No. Like, that's actually also a lie. He's not gonna seek you out. Like, oh my gosh. They're being like, everyone would want, like, sexual objectification of a woman who's shocked that Reese would do this. This is Reese's characterization. Behind closed doors, he is that guy who will go, I love you. Me? I'm not bad. It's a mask. And then in front of everyone, will literally do the most heinous things to you. But that's not me. It's a mask. No, it is you. It is you. I'm so sorry to break this to you. It is you. Because every single time that you are not behind closed doors, basically, or in the good city, you're doing it is you. And everyone's okay with this. Because it's whole choice. Page 413, another mean point who is, who's shocked. She says that perhaps she'll put a leash on Keel. That's mean. That is mean. That actually is. And I understand that she doesn't like Keel because of Moy. That does not change it. That does not change what's happening. Moy is the queen of the area. But also, again, Keel's the parent. So how are they basically related to you, my guy? Not my guy. Oh my gosh, she's not my guy. Also, anyone said that she doesn't, that they don't rule with, like, wanting obedience and the bluntness and all this kind of stuff. And what are we doing here? Interesting. Exactly what? But, like, they just leave that. They just leave it. It's like taxes instead of a tithe, which is, I believe taxes. They do inform them anyways. 2 high points. She says, "You are good, Reese. You are kind." No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's actively trying to be the most horrible person he can right now. On page 14, she's saying that people are calling her a whore and trade on the Nile. I'm counting all these as lies. Why? Because no one's saying it. No one is saying it. If it was said, it would have the quotations around it. No one is saying it. This is whole mind. This is whole mind saying these things. If it was not, it would have been in quotation marks. So she's lying that people are saying it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lies. And then we have a Lyle, because she always answers calls of a Lyle. And because no one's saying this is self-concept, this is mine, she has a mean point for herself. She also gives another mean point. By calling someone a monster. And she didn't care that Kale is forced to watch this sexual activity that he does not want to watch. Boy 15. She's really happy that someone is being forced, again, to watch a sexual thing that he does not want to watch. They are assaulting him because how he is described, just watched and watched and watched, rigid, horrified, stuck, until Reese released him. That is assault. She is happy to be assaulting someone. She is okay, and it gives her a thrill of power to assault someone, no matter how you feel about him, because he is the dad that Moy talked about. He is being assaulted by Thera and Reese. Also, going to point out, that did not need to happen. How fast did they roll to get the thing from the dad? What is his court? Why didn't he just say, "Give me it, it's mine now, bye"? Like, as fast as it happened, he could have been like, no, we're doing this one thing, and kept him there. He did not need to be outside. And also, there was other people in the room. We don't know if they were also forced to watch it, but page 421. Described as, "He protected me out of the mountain, but with that primal male rage he just shown for Keel." No, he did not protect her on the mountain. Page 422, 2 mean points. We have, okay. She's being mean to Reese, and listen, I'm okay with that, but mean is still mean. At least I don't pretend to be behind a mask. Eat him up, eat him up, eat him up. Reese's Puffs. At least she doesn't see who she is, broken in bits and all. So while she's being mean to him, calling him out, she's also being mean to herself. 2 mean points, there we go. Too hard, no. No, he needed it, and now he's going to play Woe Is Me and give her the silent treatment and drive her up the wall. And she says, "I have been horrible." You weren't horrible, you were honest, and a bit mean, that's it. Mean to herself, I'm giving her a mean point. She also lies again and says that she had been bloodthirsty, and wanted them to be punished. She wasn't bloodthirsty. And she also says Reese's punishment at positive angle that night had been justified. It wasn't. So that's on 3 lies. We're on page 423. Another mean point is on 425. And she's wanting people's bones to be crushed. I think that's what I mean. Now, Reese is kind of sad. He's kind of sad, and I think you're allowed to be sad, even if you're Reese. And she's really mean to him about it. So I'm going to give 2 mean points for that. Calls him a hateful coward. Listen, I didn't give her any I didn't give her any lie points. I just gave her mean points. And that's fail. I didn't give her any lie points for what she said to Reese. I'm going to give her another lie point, though, by saying, she didn't mean it. She meant it more about herself, and she apologized to Reese after he stopped seeing her silent treatment. Babes, you meant it, and another lie. "I'm wishing I could take back the kiss on the mountain," and she says that she sometimes forgets it, and that he had to do it, but when he'd done what he'd done to keep. Basically, okay, and then she's justifying the kiss that he did, and that's why he didn't have to do that. It is not a good thing. He could have fixed the paint in a different way. Instead, he chose to kiss her in a brutal, demanding, and yet why? Another mean point on page 42. She's talking about Lyle. She's saying how much she hates Cameron. No matter that Reese could rip their minds apart without lifting a finger, or the Illyrian Royals. Yeah, that's not good to say to someone. What do you think about someone? She lies 2 times, so she's, a traitor. She's mine. Remember the blood right. Another mean point for traitor. Self-concept in the guttural. A lie point on the High Lord's pet and possession. I mean, okay. Another mean point, basically being like, "You gave up on me, you gave up," and at that point, I don't think that it was giving up. Trying to figure out where you put this negative thing. Picked him, obeyed him, and he's a High Lord, he has to. I'm sorry that you're not with an actual High Lord, and you don't actually know that you have to obey them, but trying to figure out where I gave her a mean point. I think it's just basically how she's just acting towards him. Oh, I put this in this one. I'm not a child playing games. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch too much on that one because it's gonna be later on. She says that she has no interest in studying immortality. Studying more immortality as a High Lord's pet. That's a lie because she's okay with doing it for Reese, but just not for Cameron. And she said she didn't care when she watched him unyielding cold. The dark creature that calling yourself a dark creature. I'm gonna give me a point. 467, 2 mean points. Basically, not quite like spring court, and Cassian would push the limits, but that wouldn't happen, because if Reese did something, they'll take it away, and it was just like, you're not going to. It makes me know we lie also. So I found out a lie, calling spring court bad, and these horrible people, but then another group is not. I give input for that. Another mean point's going to be going to same page. He'd known what IMP was from the moment he met her, and he'd understand what it was like to be prisoner helpless, and to struggle every day with those court. Yes, IMP bad. She's so trustable. But IMP bad. That does not mean... I'm going to tell a mean point, because Devin also knows what it feels like to be prisoner. Why in this paragraph, or at least 2 paragraphs, are we putting the night court up so high? It feels like these shenanigans. 2 mean points, followed by 2 lie points, and then natural lie point. Mean points. She's being mean to herself for calling her a treacherous, lying piece of trash. And she also lies that she stopped visiting Cameron's bed. She never stopped visiting Cameron's bed, and he never stopped visiting her. That is simply a lie. Then she calls her a lying piece of trash, and so, again, we have... I'm gonna be honest. I think he's making her mind bad. I think he's making her mind bad. Anytime she's thinking of Tamlin, it's always something bad. Like, she literally repeat the same thing. Which I understand is just something bad. What I'm trying to say is, it is the same statement with the same trigger around him. So, she lies when she's doing things with Reese and says it's just a distraction. That's not why she's doing it. On page 472, and that's a lie. That's not why she's wanting to do such activities. We do the soil. Let's start the soil. 492, we get... If you wish to speed up your mate's healing, in addition with your blood, a pink flower weed sprouted by the river, make him chew it. Mate, she's like, wait, what? And then the High Lord of the Night Court is your mate. And then, mates are equally matched. He's the most powerful High Lord to ever walk in you or new. You are made of all 7 High Lords, unlike anything. Are you two not similar in that? Not matched. You're like, okay, so no mates. No. She's mates with whoever the High Lord is. And I don't like how he does say that he is the most powerful High Lord. I don't like that. I don't like that. I still think... Everything Cheyenne, no, this is saying, he never said Reese's name. Also, how much did the Soil get paid to say that? I feel like you are sipping, you're lusting for a man. Part 3, basically being mean to herself, because you're like, I told her I would never run, and then I managed, like, yeah, he lied to you. So Moon takes her to a family cottage that Reese does say later on, that of course he would take her there. That was the only place that he would. So, like, she wasn't even taken to a place that, like, he couldn't reach her. And she starts to paint, and it's supposed to be like, she paints for the first time, but she paints in this family home on the walls. She doesn't any point. Every single person that has brought this up is just like, guys, she's painting on the walls of a family home without permission. That is rude. She calls her mate beautiful, strong, selfish male. That's why he's selfish. He is so selfish. He is so beyond selfish. It's wild. It's wild. I do not believe the story that he says. We're not gonna get into it, but oh my gosh. Okay. Now, page 548. We're back with Nesta. We're back with all of them. Mortal Queens. Well, I'm gonna just mention very casually. I know after reading Onyx Storm in the Boys series, I have to admit that I understand where the Queens are coming from. That area is not defensible. It's not, and it's a false one to go. So while they should at least have people come back, that does tip the hand that they know that they're going to be hit false. So the element of surprise will be lost for them. And they shouldn't try to keep this land. This is going to be land that is taken very easily. It is not defensible, or very, very easily undefensible. So in a war, why would they defend the land that people are on instead of telling them to leave? And then even then, that idea of telling them to leave before it's time is also difficult. So I'm not that mad at the Mortal Queens for this specifically, but they are very mean to Nesta. Nesta is speaking truth. But this is another situation in which I don't think people are being mean. I think they're being very direct, and the Night Court just doesn't want to hear what they're being told. They're being told no, and they're throwing a tantrum. Now, but like with this is a situation, when I'm saying throwing a tantrum, I mean multiple times they get told no, and they can't coerce someone, and then now that person's mean, and that person's bad, because they didn't do exactly what they wanted to do. They think about trying to do a coup against the queens to get the book. So yeah, I think they'll probably down with coups, actually. And we're gonna skip past, this is not a recap. We're gonna skip past this is so easy, and this is obviously a trap. We're gonna skip past that. When Julian said that Moore is such a liar, I went, come on. And let me be very clear, you're not gonna get me to hate this man. He's the reason why he went to trade. You won't get me to hate him. Oh, but he doesn't like it. Okay, Aaron, you honestly can't tell. So many people cannot say anything, because imagine if you got cheated on. What you would do? First, what you would do if you got cheated on. And second, if you got cheated on by your enemy that you're fighting the war against, that wants to enslave an entire group of people. Oh, but he changed. Okay, but there was a time in which that same person had to run from him because, like, you're not going to get me to not like this man. Maybe I don't like some of the actions that he does, but you're not going to get me not to like him. He's a war hero that saved humanity. And yeah, he's been alive for 500 years. Simply, he's been alive for 500 years, unnaturally because of magic after a death that he already should have had. Yeah, he's not going to be in the best mental condition, and in fact, I would expect worse. He's not that bad. He's really not that bad. He did not go crazy at something. He is acting rationally. He just wants revenge. And again, a lot of people cannot say anything, because I hope that some people would do. Have you, Your Honor, have you heard before he cheats? Have you heard that so many people agree with? Now, I don't, so I'm not saying that anything should happen. I'm just saying a lot of people can't speak on that. Okay, so one of the queens tells Feyre that she's a thief and a liar, and she compares to her own sisters. That's true. You guys need to remember, Ianthe sold her sisters out because she trusted Ianthe. Remember that she trusted Ianthe before Reese said all this kind of, prove that you shouldn't trust Ianthe? Yeah, she trusted Ianthe. Tamlin was there with Lucien, but he makes it feel that the sisters were never part of the deal. Remember when I said that her sisters were being put in active danger? Remember when I said her sisters were being put in danger because of this? And remember in book 1 when I said that if the story was a true fairy and will always tell the truth, then her two sisters would have to die. Yeah, so her sisters died. But at least they're fairy now, right? And Elaine has a mate. Lucian's her mate, allegedly. I mean, it seems like immediate. Which is why I don't believe necessarily that maybe Feyre and Reese are mates simply because there was no snap. That the thing that kept on being said over and over again is a snap. There's a snap in place. It snaps in place, and that never happened to Feyre. So I'm like, how is it? Because Elaine's kind of knows you. And even when Cassian, like, he's like storming around when Nesta is in pain. And also, I do like the idea of Nesta getting revenge with King Digital. Now 6:11, she lies. This is the point in which she's trying to she's like, what did you do to me? Where am I? Get my sisters out, play along. I'm gonna come up a live point there. And then she says, don't let them take me. I don't want to go back. Technically, she's right, but at the same time, I'm giving her a life because she actually does want to go back to the Night Court. And that's on page 612, page 613. And she says she was no more death, no more killing, that's a lie. She does want killing. On page 620, he literally says, she's my mate, she's my spy, and she's a high lady of the Night Court, she was sworn in. Yeah, that's not a high lady. That is a title that you used. A high lady is born of the man, like the, high lords are. When we were talking about high ladies, we're talking about a gender of lady instead of lord being a high lord. Just because you're sworn in does not mean you are power. We still need to figure out what a high lord is. 6:23, we're back with Feyre in the Maas chapter. She says that how she did it, how she broke the bonds because she wanted it and she doesn't know how. She just wanted to be free, so she did it. 3 times she did it. That's a lie. And then she says she doesn't know, she doesn't remember anything. It's a lie, she doesn't remember, she's just faking. She says that she wants to tell them more about it, but it's just bits and pieces, it's a lie. I think she says it's going to be a lie. And she's like, it doesn't matter, I'm home now, that's a lie. She says forever after him, that's a lie. Lucian's very suspicious of her. Lucian is the person I'm rooting for. He is, because I'm like, listen, regardless of people are saying his storyline is happening or not, whether or not he is a certain type of magic creature, like Feyre is, because she's an mommy, or Reese, like, regardless of what people are saying in theories, I do like him, and he has every right in my mind to be upset with Feyre, and also, be very suspicious of her, because she's acting very suspicious. Lucian doesn't want to admit it. I know, sorry, Girly needs to work on self-concept. Need point counter in book 2 alone, we have it going up 67 points at a total, with book 1 and book 2 now at 85 points. That's a mean tracker. For book 2, we have 4 more, because again, just because she says something that you don't like does not mean that she is being mean. You're just hearing something you don't want to hear because she's not doing what you want her to do. Okay, book 1 and book 2 combined, that's supposed to mean 11 times. Lie counter, we are now at the updated for book 2, 74 times. For book 1 and book 2, she has lied 92 times. Feyre Darling is a liar. How many times was she called out for lies? Well, in book 2, she was called out for lies 17 times. So in book 1 and book 2, that is 20 times. And usually the lies she's called out for lying are usually not lies.